Hi there, I'm DANI Henderson, spiritualtherapist.com. Today is May the 5th, 2022. And what an interesting time we're having in this evolution and ascension of our planet and of consciousness at large. There are many people coming to me daily in my private clinic and sharing a deep sense of grieving, a deep sense of anger, a deep sense of resentment with past relationships, ex-husbands, ex-wives, parents, etc. A lot of people have a lot of inner child anxiety still that they haven't dealt with from their childhood. And I'll tell you what, I don't care how much of a billionaire you might be, if you don't take care of that little boy inside of you or that little girl inside of you, no matter where you go and what you do as an adult, it is going to follow you. It's like this is the golden key to recovering mental health, mental emotional wealth, being able to give yourself, being able to love others, being able to control your emotions, being able to accept information like you cannot be made to feel a certain way. You and you alone give yourself permission to feel a certain way. There's so much freedom in what I just explained there, from the inner child healing to you accepting that only you can decide how somebody makes you feel. Now, if any of the information I just brought a moment ago triggers you, there may be inside of you narcissistic tendencies, and that's all right. You know, sometimes we don't realize. Sometimes we're just so caught up and we don't realize how arrogant we are, how ignorant we are, how full of ourselves we are, how we're in the blame and shame game to other people. At this stage of our evolution on this beautiful planet that we inhabit, Mother Earth, Pachamama, Gaia, there are many different names for our planet, but isn't she gorgeous? I love looking at her. She's so beautiful, life-giving, life-sustaining Mother Earth. We're all at this moment in this evolution 2022 going through growth of some sort. I mean, you can't ignore it. It's right there. And again, in order for ourselves to be helped, in order for ourselves to be guided, in order for ourselves to grow, it's going to be really important for all of us. And of course, myself included. And believe me, nobody kicks me in the ass more than me. So I feel really quite qualified as well as a therapist, as well as a spiritual mentor, but somebody who definitely walks her talk. Absolutely. And so, yeah, it's time to look in the mirror and really figure out who's looking back at you. How much of a narcissist are you? Are you able to even conceive of the idea that maybe you've got some behaviors that it's time they were done? You're not 15 anymore. You're not 7 anymore. You know, some of us, we're not 35 or 40 anymore. I'm way past that. It's all right. You know, it's all right. It's not all right to go into victim and martyr mode, though. There's a big difference. You know, oh, look what I've had to sacrifice. Oh, look what I do every day. Oh, I give myself away every day. Knock that off too. Okay, that's also not very attractive. And there's a lot of people that are stuck in the martyr mode and stuck in the victim mode that are equally as destructive as the narcissist. The narcissist is the one that says, well, I don't ever do anything. I'm so good to people. I give to people. Oh, no, she said this and that's what I responded. That's what I reacted. There's a lot of behaviors right now that we could all do with looking at. And we could all do with really analyzing ourselves a little bit. We could all do with loving ourselves a lot more. And we could all do with making decisions to breathe deeper into the body, to take responsibility for certain actions, and for also picking up that phone, sending a beautiful email to people that we have spurned or have spurned us, and relaxing and releasing pain from our individual selves, minds, and emotional bodies. One of the most brilliant techniques that I use with my clients is a really easy releasing technique. Now, one of the things to, you know, for those of you that, and there are so many people that are like, oh my God, is she spiritual? Is she a nut job? Probably. Maybe, but the techniques I used and have used my entire life, and certainly the last 20 years as a therapist, work. And for those that can't get their heads around a spiritual aspect, that's all right, it doesn't really matter. But your healing is important to me, just as a lover of humanity. But how you think about it is obviously your business, and that's for you to, that doesn't affect me. I'm just happy for you to make any kind of healing adjustments that you feel drawn to. When a newborn baby is born, that baby's brain, in general, 99%, let's say, let's not go into the ones that were disabled or who aren't wired correctly. Generally, those of us watching this video, when we're born, we come out the birth canal and our brain, the software organic computer inside of our minds, inside of our heads, that organic computer is running the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the bladder, pumping the blood, pumping the heart, So we are set on an automatic program when we come into this life, and then all of the other extrasensory things that happen around us, all the training from the people that raise us, that obviously has influence, and on we go. But unless you understand that you can actually affect the way that your brain works, you can actually program your own brain. And there isn't a person on or off this planet that can tell you otherwise. And, in my opinion, woe betide anyone that does. Dare have the audacity to tell you how to think, what to believe, to tell you, no, you can't reprogram your brain. If anyone has the audacity to say that to you, have them stand in the corner and think about their bloody manners for a few minutes. No one has the right to tell you how to think, what to think, and to even, imagine that you can reprogram your mind. Because of course you can. Of course you can. It's your mind. You can do what you like with it. One of the techniques in releasing energy connected to another person is very simple. You just use your imagination. You use your imagination to bring the information. And I love saying that. Use your imagination to bring the information. And by doing that, we literally can bring to us a physical, psychological, emotional shift and change in our brain chemistry. Now, the first part of this releasing exercise is to breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth, but push out through the belly. It's got nothing to do with spirituality, nothing to do with yoga, nothing to do with magic, because if you don't breathe, you're going to die, aren't you? All right. I'm deliberately not targeting, but talking to the skeptics, the dull ones, in my opinion, the ones that go, oh my God, that's yoga, that's the devil. No, it's not. It's breathing, love. And without breathing, you're not going to be here. And I'm ascertaining and suggesting to you that your brilliant brain and mind is able to be reprogrammed by you. And this is one of the ways to do it. All right. So we just let go of all attachments and all ideas to any particular subject. This is just about you. So when you breathe in through the nose, in your brain, you're releasing serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins. It's unbelievable. One breath. That's it. One breath and you're releasing that brain chemistry. And when you push out through the mouth, but down into the belly, you are oxygenating your blood cells. So straight away, you are creating an instant shift in brain chemistry and body physiology in that one beautiful breath in and out. So take a couple of those breaths. And when you're doing that, you're going to feel your body start to relax. If you allow it. And only you can do this, of course. So you bring your imagination to bring the information, take the breath in, take the breath out, let the body start to go down into relaxation. And then what you do is you think about someone in your mind who may have caused you pain. Your whole life, part of your life, past life, doesn't really matter. Past life in this life, I mean like a mother, a father, a lover, a sibling, a friend, somebody who's harmed you, hurt you, somebody who has just been there to maybe teach you lessons that you didn't really appreciate learning, and you want to let their energy go. Here's what you do. You simply imagine them standing down the street, standing way down the road, in front of you, but down the road. And you imagine from your heart to their heart, a golden heartstring going from your heart into their heart. And as you see that golden heartstring going from your heart into their heart, imagine a massive pair of scissors cutting that cord. They're down the road. Imagine a golden heartstring going from your heart into their heart, and you cut that cord. And in your mind, it is very heartwarming, loving, and it's a determination that you're setting forth to shift the energy within your brain, mind, physiology. And in your mind, you say, I permanently sever all pain connected with you, past, present, and future. I permanently sever all pain connected with you, past, present, and future. And let yourself cut that cord. And then give yourself a moment to fully come back into the body, back into the room, back into full awareness. And as you're doing that, allow yourself the information to say that you will be able to recall everything you felt, witnessed, and saw in your mind's eye as you were cutting cords with that person. So let's say, for example, that you've had a long-term abusive relationship like my client yesterday did with your mother. And you are so stuck in child mode, in child thinking that, but that's my mom, I can't do that. Of course you can. Of course you can. You know, a lot of children who've come from an abusive relationship with their mother, they'll grow up still allowing the mother energy to run and rule them. But they're forgetting that they're actually an adult now. So there's a matching energy, adult to adult. Doesn't matter if that's your mother. It doesn't matter if that's your mother. If you've been in a long-term abusive relationship with your mother and you're still allowing your mother to run your mind, to run the genetic tapes in your head, which is what happens to a lot of us, you're doing that. So just as you are doing that, you can also undo that. And of course, it can take some time. It's very rare for it to be done in one session, but it's definitely a beautiful way to do that, to release that ongoing trauma, the ongoing self-abuse that we do to ourselves. It starts with the mother, those of you who have an abusive relationship with your mothers. It starts with her obviously inflicting abuse, verbal, mental, emotional, physical, whatever it may be in all its guises. They all hurt. And then there comes a point where even though you've grown up, left home, got married, etc., moved away, left the country, whatever, maybe a parent yourself, sometimes that abusive old tape still plays in your head, in your mind, and you are the one in control of releasing that. And even if the parent has passed on and is dead, you still can release that energy. Again, imagine your mum standing down the street. Take a beautiful golden heartstring from your heart into her heart. Take a pair of scissors and cut the cord. And in your mind, the mantra is, I permanently sever all pain connected with you, past, present, and future. Now, if you feel that this is ridiculous, that's fine. It doesn't matter. If you feel that you shouldn't do this, why? Why? Ask yourself why. Who's running your mind? Who's in control of you? Are you letting someone control you? Are you letting a parent control you? Really? Are you really? Seriously? I mean, if you're a young person, a child, a teen, parents, very useful, very useful. And if you have good relationships, they're amazing, they're wonderful. I'm really talking to the adults, and you know that. I'm really addressing the adults. And so many people are coming to my clinic and my online clinic here, and they are at a point now where there's so much pressure and stress in their lives that all the things they've been ignoring their whole lives, they're now ready to heal. And not everyone can, afford to book a session with me online at DANI, D-A-N-I, DANI Spiritual Therapist, .com, DANIspiritualtherapist.com. And I give so many videos, broadcasts on my YouTube channel. for free, of course, with a lot of the techniques I'm describing here. And it just came to my attention the last 2 days with the clients I've had the last 2 days in particular, of how important it is for us to really establish, undo the mockery, because there's a massive ascension, a massive spiritual revolution happening on this planet. And there are a lot of people really mocking techniques like that, that use your imagination to bring the information. Imagine a golden heartstring, cut that cord. A lot of people are throwing a lot of religious dogma, a lot of blame and shame at techniques like this. And what they're doing is preventing themselves from healing. When one person makes a healing within themselves, in their family, anyone they're connected to, especially on a DNA level, a blood level, a relationship level, is going to send an electromagnetic wave to the other people in their ancestral line, and a healing will take place. This is what happens. But the more that we are shoved into fear, panic, oh my goodness, this, that, and the other, don't do this, this is ridiculous. Don't tell anyone you're doing this, don't have these imaginings. We just stay stuck. It's time to get unstuck, guys. And we know it, I know it, and you know it deep down. So let's have some fun. Let's use our imagination to bring the information. This is my little gecko confirming. Let's use our imagination to bring the information that we are all in the midst of a mental and emotional revolution of healing within our mental minds and our physical bodies. And all the things that we were told, coulda, woulda, shoulda, any of the abusive relationships that we've had and that we hold within this vessel, within this body, within this container, they are ready for healing. They are ready for release. And yes, it is way beyond time. So let's allow ourselves to step into a healing modality. Let's allow ourselves to use the release technique that I just shared with you. Let's also allow ourselves to write letters, to type letters. And even if we never send those letters, let's get out pain that we've kept in. Another amazing, amazing, amazing technique. Do not do it when you're drunk, okay? Drunk texting, drunk writing leads to some of the biggest regrets in people's lives. Do not get hammered, rat-assed, shit-faced. Don't do that. Don't do that. But sit and write to your mother, to your father, to your lover, to your child, to your whatever pain you're carrying. So much pain people carry in their heart. Oh my gosh, they never let it go. Write letters, type letters, or talk into your phone, record something. The point is, we want to shift that energy out. We want to find a way of releasing the energy that we're holding in. It makes you feel so much lighter. It's such an amazing thing to do. And if we're really ready and we're really, really invested in our own mental, emotional, physical healing, then let's make a phone call. Sober. Let's pick up the phone and let's say hi. And even if the person on the end of the phone does not react with joy, does not show happiness to see you or hear from you, that doesn't matter. What matters is you took a step in your own personal healing. You took a step. It's huge. And this is about you. This is just about you in this moment. So don't be a martyr. Don't be a victim. Look at any narcissistic tendencies that you might have, because if any of us can't accept that we may have an area to improve in our lives, that's a narcissistic tendency. But likewise, if we go into the, oh, but I'm not good enough, oh, I'm not worthy, oh, I'm non-deserving, then we're in victim martyr mode. And it is very similar matching vibration to the narcissistic tendencies. So let's just be sensible. We want to meet somewhere in the middle so we can enjoy the experience, so we can take part in our own healing process that we all need to go through. And, it's joyous and it's painful, and it's joyous and it's painful, right? Now, as we're coming into this beautiful clinical, spiritual, healing, releasing awareness, one of the other things that we can do is to literally drop into the heart and just send love. Just send love. Radiate love out. Think of people that you love. Think about them. Think about people you admire. Think about people that you are grateful for. Think about people that you would love to hug. And just imagine radiating love out to people. Such a lovely feeling. It makes you feel good. It fills you up. And it's just a lovely thing for people to do, sending love around the planet, I always think of the babies. I call them my babies. I'm not their mother, but there's a group of children in particular in Kampala, Uganda. I think of their little faces, and a lot of them are learning guitar. Few of us donated, and we brought these children instruments, and there's actually a broadcast on my channel on YouTube, DANI Spiritual Therapist, and the children rehearsed and they sang songs for us, and it's just such a beautiful thing. I think about them and I send them all my love. And one little one, Sharon, recently, the day after the little rehearsal and the concert that they gave us on YouTube, she got typhoid and malaria. And a few days later, she's standing there in a beautiful dress and she's saying, "Thank you, Danny." And because one of the ladies that watched that broadcast sent some funds for medicine for Sharon. And then their teacher, his name is Ivan Wenji. Ivan Wenji and I hold a dream that at some point we'll be able to raise funds and build the children a school, a music school, because the children who are kept from education, we all know art-wise and music-wise and craft-wise, even a child that isn't able to get an education, you open the child's brain, the mind, the spirit, the soul through music, through expression, through drawing, through art, through painting. And at the very least, we want to bring this into the children in this particular place and, around the world too, but in Kampala, Uganda. So they're one of the places I go in my mind when I'm sending love. So we can all do that, but ultimately to look at that person that looks at you in the mirror and send that person love. And don't be a martyr and don't be a victim and don't tell yourself you're not worthy, because that's not true and that's a nonsense. And it's time to stop doing that. Self-flagellation, self-abuse, enough now, enough. We've all suffered, so many of us, on so many different levels. And filling yourself up with love and filling your heart with love and radiating that love out literally shifts the consciousness on the planet. And all of the darkness and all of the horrible agendas that have kept so many of us down, the light shines through and the love radiates through. And so it is, because it is. That is fact. So I'm going to leave you with that. Remember the releasing, remember the breathing in through the nose, releasing endorphins, serotonin, endorphin, and dopamine, the three brain chemistries that bring your mind into balance immediately. Breathing down into the belly to oxygenate the blood cells. Then imagining, after being in a relaxed state, the person that's brought you harm, the person you want to release pain from, that you've had with, down the road, cut that golden heartstring. Radiate love for you, look in the mirror and love the person that stands before you. Do not allow a parent to still run your life, especially if you are a parent. Enough of that. Victim, child, abusive, continuation, because that is choice. And you can change those genetic tapes and bring love to you. Meet that person in the mirror, radiate that love out around the world, knowing that you literally are part of raising consciousness. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me a platform to send love, spread love, be love. And I wish you all a beautiful, blessed day. I wish you all a beautiful, blessed healing for yourself ongoing. And I send you my love, and I'll see you soon.